Hello and welcome to Brave Souls Rewind, the show where I 200 older characters so you don't have to. Today I'll be taking a look at Tag Team Rangiku, a character that I really wanted to do a rewind on from the very beginning of this show. What can I say, I'm a big fan of Rangiku. Now we're starting off the list with the normal attack damage build. A build I've always actually liked on Rangiku and favored because she's ranged and she's pretty swift in attacking. I should also point out that unlike many of the OG tag team characters, Rangiku didn't get shafted when it comes to her 6-star abilities. So in addition to the attack boost that the accessory and Lynx gave her, she also has a plus 30 bruiser. And it works out very well. Not to mention she has two of the best killers in the game, making her actually usable in things like droplet zones or inheritance zones, where the killer is multiplied and typically you have two different kinds of enemies. And while her attack is a little lower than I would like, it still deals a significant amount of damage. So I am gonna say this is a viable build. Next up was a strong attack damage build, which was also very fun. Rangiku does have a decent SP, and while she doesn't have frenzy, she does have a plus 40 bruiser, which was enough to get the job done. But I will admit there were times when I felt like it could have been a little bit better. I didn't always kill the enemies in one shot, and sometimes I did have to use my normal attack, which wasn't that bad because it is ranged, and thanks to Rangiku's 14% recharge reduction, the strong attacks did come back a little sooner. So I am gonna say this is a viable build. Lastly, we have the strong attack recharge build, and honestly, I didn't expect not to like it. Usually I really like the strong attack recharge builds, but in this case it just felt like work. While the build is still viable because it does get the job done, having to spam so many strong attacks just to kill a certain amount of enemies feels like work. And while it was a pretty good amount of damage, most of the time it wasn't enough to kill the enemies. Luckily, because of her own boosted link, the strong attacks came back really quickly, so you could actually just spam them and almost never run out. And while usually I like spamming strong attacks, it did feel a little bit more like work for her because they didn't do as much as I would like them to, and the range, while not terrible, wasn't great. So yeah, still viable, but not nearly as fun or honestly as good as the strong attack damage build. Still though, I highly recommend that if you do have this character to 200 her. She may not be the best character in the game, but her Arankar/Hollow Killer really comes in handy, especially the way the game is now, where you have events where your killer is multiplied by either 3 or 5. And yes, there are other tag team characters with better killers and higher stats, but none of them are Rangiku. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know what other characters you want to see in a rewind.